What's up? Um, it's always funny how there's times that I'll go through and I'll have ideas to put something together for a podcasty thing, and then there's other times where I'm going, I have no idea. Um, I really wanted to have this one be about something else, but I'll do that one later. But I think this one's more important and it needs to be said. Um, and yeah, this stems from all of my arguments with morons on TikTok that are trying to tell me Batman, even with 24 hours prep time, is gonna stomp the ground with Spider-Man. No, he's not. It's not happening. Um, I've been called Delulu and be honest with yourself and things like that. And I had to go, no, you need to be honest with yourself. Because all you've managed to do is piece together a bunch of buzzwords and pretend that those buzzwords are just, I am the greatest arguer of all time. No, you're not. You are delusional. Buzzwords do not make an argument definitive on either end. It doesn't happen. Having things to back it up. Here, this is what your buzzword equivalent is. I use green because it might be easier to see. This is your buzzword equivalent. I'm going to use this post-it note to protect me from a flamethrower. That's what it is. That is you hiding behind buzzwords that you think are I win buttons and I win words no matter what. And that's not the case. All right. I'm sorry to be the one to finally tell you that's not the case. And I promise this is going to not be completely about Batman and Spider-Man. Give me a second. As kids would say, let him cook. So let me cook. When all you have in your argument is a buzzword, you failed. And all you're doing at that point is gatekeeping and gaslighting. Neither one really gets you anywhere. Because if you have gaslighting and gatekeeping, you take the first letters, what do you have? GG's. Good game. It's over. No, that's not how this works. Because here's where I think the actual problem is. And it was a realization I came to just before I started this recording. Everyone thinks they are their own version of the Truman Show. Everyone thinks this. I think this way. 3 people said the same thing. We're on to something. It's about us. We are great. Look at me. Everyone's paying attention to me. This is how it goes. It's the equivalent of I'm not going to pick my nose in the car because someone's going to watch me. One, you're not that important. 2, unless you're in traffic, no one's really going to pay attention unless you drive like a jackass and they just want to go, I want to see what this person looks like and see if I'm correct. And they go buzzing past you and go, that's what I thought. An asshole. And that's it. Beyond that, no one's really paying attention to you driving in the car. They don't care. And I'm going to say this for the cheap seats, if you're one of those people that has an overly tinted front window, you are a coward. And I personally think there should be no tints in the front windows, period. You should always be able to look in a car and see a driver from the side or from the front, period. Because if you're going to act like a jackass and then hide behind a tinted window, you're just a coward. You're a coward. There's no nice way to put it. You are a coward, period. Doesn't matter. But the thing that people don't understand about their whole Truman Show thing, if you pay attention to the rest of the movie, Truman Show wasn't a glorified thing. It wasn't a good thing. If you remember, he was essentially a prisoner. Had him be terrified of water, because that's the way out. When you pan back and you see the entire studio set, imagine all of those people have a job that reflects 100% on this dude's life being picture perfect. That is you having perfection wrapped in a lie, wrapped in misdirection, sold as you are chosen and special. No. Roll up a piece of newspaper and smack you in the nose with it. No. We've got to come away from this. We have to. Buzzwords, all that kind of shit has to go away. Because all it really does is it, again, puts you behind a flimsy argument that has no depth, which is why I used a single Post-it note to say this is going to protect me from a flamethrower. No, it isn't. Won't protect you from a bullet. Won't even protect you from an insult. What the hell are you doing? This is my force field. I have a force field. My force field's on. You can't hurt me. You can't see me. I have a force field. That's essentially what you're saying. And that's essentially how you look. You look ridiculous. That whole mentality is just honestly, an 8-year-old's mentality in an adult body. Grow up. That's not how things work. That's not how people work. It's not how an argument works. It's not how a debate works. A debate, if you actually have a debate, you need to bring your own proof. Notice how most of these people say, look it up. Well, look it up. You don't look it up because you just memorized some buzzwords and went, I win automatically. No, you don't. You think you do. But in all actuality, you do not. You do not automatically win. You do not automatically have the I win button, which is the exact equivalent of the Batman fans trying to pretend, I pick Batman, I automatically win every fight, Batman always wins. No, what you're doing is you're copying someone else's words. They gave you all this stuff that hit you like, oh my God, this dude speaks truth like he's the next embodiment of Nostradamus. I need to follow everything. Teach me, oh great one. Let me use my Post-it note that of flamethrower protection and write that shit down so I too can be masterful. No. You're not being a unique individual. You're not even thinking for yourself. You're just parakeeting everything that someone else has said at some point because they believe it. And at that point, it may as well become its own fucking religion. The Bat Belfry religion of Bethalta. I don't know. But that's what it's coming down to. You're ruining fandoms because you don't understand how to actually prioritize an argument and look at things realistically. You just hang on to your buzzwords like there's some type of plot armor in real life that protects you from everything, and then you meet someone like me, and then you're like, you're just a geek. And you're a moron. You do realize the moment you start doing personal attacks against someone, whatever argument that was constructed beforehand, you have automatically lost. Loser, geek, nerd, dweeb, whatever. All of that is lost. Your whole argument is, again, as flimsy as a single sheet of Post-it note that's supposed to protect you from a flamethrower. That should keep you dry when it rains. No, it doesn't work that way. And there's nothing wrong with having something in your head that you've always considered to be right for it to be wrong. It's okay. It's not an identity politic at that point. When you have something that you say is unequivocally true, I'm going, all right, 90% of you are wrong on this. Let's see what it is. Men are just bad people. Women can be too. Yes, men can be. But men are? No, it's not a blanket statement. You're just creating buzzwords to try and go, you can't prove me wrong. I've already convinced myself I was right by the 16 other peoples I learned all these buzzwords from because it makes sense. No, that's called an echo chamber. That is a mental and social pyramid scheme that you have bought into. Prove me wrong. You just repeated what someone else came down and told others and told others and told others and told others. Yeah, you're in a pyramid scheme. For a social constructed argument. And once someone starts to tear away those layers, you're going, no, you can't do that. I'll take all those layers back. That's not how that works. You're just being a hater. You just don't get it. If there's anything you don't get, it's reality and common sense, which we all know is not common anymore. And this is what I think is starting to really create these expansive divides in our culture. And it has to stop. It has to. We cannot keep moving forward as a society, let alone as a country, let alone as a state, let alone as a city, let alone as a neighborhood, as long as we keep holding on to these ideals that do nothing to push us forward. We hold ourselves back and we pull others back with us by our inability to actually come through and have some type of mental awareness that what I'm saying might actually be kind of dumb. Here's an example. Another one. Worked with a girl, thought she was smart as hell. Until she started spitting some shit that I just kind of went, I'm sorry, what? And it was one of those things where at the time it was just so unbelievably dumb. It took me minutes to put it all together and realize, oh my God, that's awful. And what she said was in relation to people wearing masks. And she goes, pants don't hold in a fart. You realize that's not their fucking design point, right? Pants were not created to go, I need to stop farting, you guys. I'm going to put on these things that completely cover my legs and my lower regions, and hopefully this will stop my farts. It didn't stop my farts. It's just pants are there to cover you up. That's why clothes exist. Pants don't hold it. That's not their... That's like saying a car can be used as a screwdriver. No, it can't. Because that's not what the hell it was designed for. A car could be used in the same type of context as a wrecking ball, but a wrecking ball will survive the ordeal. A car will not. Same thing here. It doesn't survive the argument because that's not its designed purpose. This is what I was talking about podcasts ago, about we need to start calling people out on their dumb shit. And this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Your buzzwords. I'm going to play the race card, the first thing. All of that crap is absolutely useless. Just like I can't stand the term reverse racism. Um, if you're playing Uno and I throw down a reverse, it goes the other direction, the opposite direction, because you have clockwise and you have counterclockwise. So if it's reverse racism, isn't that acceptance? Because otherwise, your terminology just for saying that's racist is racist saying that. Because if you say only one particular type of person can be racist, that is a racist statement. I'm sorry. Are we speaking the same English here? Because I thought we were. Because I can kind of speak a couple other languages, but I'm not fluent in them at all. The one I am fluent in is the one that we are both speaking. So reverse racism is acceptance. If you're racist, you're racist. It's a two-way street for everyone. Everyone. If you are black and you hate Mexicans, you are racist. If you are black and you hate whites, you are racist. If you are Mexican and you hate Asians, you are racist. If you are Asians and you hate white people, you are racist. If you are Asians and you hate black people, you are racist. And it's not like racism is white people going out to everyone else and no one else can be hated on. Yes, the hell they can. That's more hiding behind our buzzwords. That's more trying to pretend that we are morally and ethically and logically superior to those around us. You know what that's called? A little thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect, which means you are so inept at a particular mental field, if you will, that you don't realize how mentally inept you are. And therefore you prostrate yourself as being part of this grandiose thing of I'm amazing, and you're the dumbest person in the room. It is the dumbest person in the room pretending they are the smartest person in the room. And I will tell you this, for those of you that rely on all these things, you are still the dumbest person in the room if you are the only person in the room. Making what you like your identity is what is keeping you from actually evolving to another point. Rather than what you like is what you like and you move forward from there. I'll give you another example of what I mean by that. The most popular music in America is what? Country music. By and large, country music is played everywhere. Everywhere. So, let's look this up. What is the most popular music in America? Okay, I might be wrong on that. How many radio stations playing country Hang on. Okay. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So, how many people listen to country versus hip hop? Country is almost 50%. R&B and soul, hip hop are at 38.9 and 37.4 respectively. So the vast majority is country music. And there was even times where radio stations, that's what 40% of all radio stations in America played was country music. Does that mean that everybody likes country music? No, it's just more readily available. Well, now you have SoundCloud that came out and World Star and shit like that. So you have other types of ways to start connecting with other rappers and other artists and things like that. So it started to become more of an even keel, because while the radio stations may play something, the actual apps and websites do something else. Now, I say all that because, by and large, my musical tastes have come from those who have shown me things, and I've liked them, and I've went on deeper dives from it. When I was a kid, I used to listen to whatever was popular. If there was a radio station that kids in my grade listened to, I made sure I listened to it. If there were radio stations that older kids listened to that my constituents did not, I listened to that radio station. Flip back and forth between them all the time. And then I was about 10 to 12 years old, somewhere in there. And I heard Metallica's Black Album for the first time, and I went, this is cool. What is this? It's Metallica. I went on a dive for that. I found Iron Maiden. I found Megadeth. I found AC/DC. I found Black Sabbath. I went on a frickin' tear. And then I started getting into, well, one guy showed me Machine Head. I don't think that's the album name. I want to say the album name's 10 Ton Hammer, but I don't think it is. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's the one that has 10 Ton Hammer on it, but that's what the album's called. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I went, oh my God, this is great. And then he showed me Fear Factory. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I just kept going down this spiral. And pretty soon my core was around hard rock heavy metal, which is not an easy thing to find. So let's go back to so this says as of May 2018, little outdated, but it still holds my point. Rock, pop, country, R&B, and hip hop, top 5, and they still are. The absolute bottom of music, heavy metal. So if you come across heavy metal music, someone more than likely has introduced it to you. You did not just stumble across it because it's not one of the top 5. So that puts in my head, those of us that enjoy heavy metal music will actually go find other sources of music. If you're one of the ones that typically lean on the top 5 for most of your stuff, you tend to only stay in those top 5. You don't venture out. You don't really go do anything else. And most of you, because I've run across quite a few, most of you that are in those top 5 will completely dismiss heavy metal as even being music because you can't understand anything. Well, that is lyrical content versus music itself. So if you say, I listen to this music because I can understand the words, that's like saying I drive a car because I don't get in a plane. You're getting to a destination, but it doesn't make any sense. You can't fly a plane to work. It and I have also found, if you know someone who likes heavy metal music, I want you to ask them a question, because you are going to be surprised at the answer you get. I promise you. Ask a heavy metal person that you know listens to heavy metal music and ask them, what classical music do you like? And I promise you, you are going to get an answer 6 to 7 times out of 10. Because I have learned through my own experience, if you are someone who enjoys heavy metal music, you tend to kind of go reach out into other areas. I myself love a good rhythm. And that's why I hear that from Meshuggah's Bleed, or the drum intro to Hot for Teacher from Van Halen. It gets you pumped, it gets you ready to go. And I dig the rhythm. What also has a lot of rhythm, it has a good beat. Right. Hip hop music. Guess what I also like? I am of the camp that, for the most part, it's not a guarantee, but for the most part, if you're a fan of heavy metal music and you go this way with it, you're going to find a fan that is more accepting of everything else. But if you turn a blind eye to heavy metal music, you're usually someone who thinks that your picks of music are better than everybody else's because you can understand the words and the songs actually touch you. That is lyrical content. It is not the same thing. And this goes back to, you take what you're fed versus you make what you eat. Let that sink in for just a moment. You take what you are fed or you make what you eat. That's like going to these cooking shows and these cooking competitions. And I watched something to where I went, what the hell is this? It looked like chicken noodle soup with some corn cut into it, and they're giving all these ingredients. I'm going, that looks terrible. I would never eat that because 95% of the ingredients you described make no sense to me. Oh, it's fine dining. You know what used to be not considered fine dining? Fucking lobsters. Everybody thought because it was on the bottom of the ocean, it was considered to be a bottom feeder. And we can't do bottom feeding. Oh no, Mimsy, we can't do it. We just can't. And then what do you get? Go up to Maine. These dudes have lobster bisque, lobster rolls, all kinds of shit. And they go, oh my, this is quite fantastic. What is this? And it wasn't in some dish that looked like you sneezed 16 different flavors from Baskin Robbins and Dairy Queen onto it. You go, what the fuck is all this? Can you put the sauce on what I'm supposed to eat? Why am I dragging it through? Then I lose some of the food into the sauce. What the hell is this? Well, so much of food is actually part of presentation. You have to have the right presentation in order to have the food be going across the tongue exquisitely. No, Roderick, you don't. You make it taste good. There's a reason why you have the terms comfort food and soul food. None of it looks like that pretentious bullshit. None of it. Get me a burger. Season the meat. Give me a slice of cheese, 2 slices of bacon, 1 if you want to rip it in half for me and I'll just do the 1. I'm fine with that. A little bit of mayo, a little bit of ketchup. Fuck off, leave me alone. I'm there to eat a burger. And the only reason why I want ketchup is to give a little bit extra, we'll say, caution, just in case the burger is dry-ish. Now, I know if you go to a restaurant, they don't dry them out. But if you're on the grill, most of you don't know how to cook a burger. The burger's going to come out dry. Just like the vast freaking majority of you have no idea how to grill chicken. No idea. Because almost every single one of you has that shit come off the grill and it's dry. Ain't no macaroni salad, no macaroni, no baked beans. Not even if you pour lemonade on that chicken, is it going to absorb anything? At that point, you have turned it into turkey Teflon, and it's just going to reject everything. You can't put more barbecue sauce and save it. You can't. It doesn't work that way. You messed up. Cook me something that's decent that most people can use, and then I'll show you a chef that actually has some good sense in it. You have to make it for fine dining. If it would have been on more restaurants, oh my God, I would never have such a drivel served on one of my plates. First of all, you're still serving in a porcelain like everybody else with a fucking plate. So take your goddamn shitty attitude and fuck off with it. Pinky's out when you're cutting it. Pick it up. Pick it up with your hands. Oh my God. Would I love to sit there and have a blog where I go to fine dining establishments and don't use a single utensil just to piss everybody off in that restaurant and go, you're not special because you're paying $300 for 4 scallops. You're a dumbass and they're taking advantage of you, and it's fucking hilarious to me. I'm going to go to Wendy's and get some real food. Say ya. I'll go to the grocery store and make my own. It's this entire pretentiousness that we have just hyper-focused on, all of us, on every aspect that we have, that tells us I'm better than you because I put garlic aioli on my burger. Why? Why? And I know I've talked about this before. The amount of ingredients that people put on their fucking hamburger is just having a salad in a to-go container, but you eat the container. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a sandwich shop and I've seen people go, I'll have a turkey with 3 slices of cheddar. Hold on. And then, gonna push my vocal cords back down. I'll have a turkey on whole grain and 3 slices of cheddar. And what do you want on it? Everything. Tell me you taste that cheddar. Tell me you taste that turkey. And if you tell me any of those things, I know you're lying. There's too much crap on your goddamn sandwich. There is no way in hell you are tasting anything at the base of that sandwich. You have, by and large, just created like a taco salad in a deep fried bowl. But rather than it being a deep fried bowl, you have whole grain bread that serves the same damn purpose. It's pretentiousness to think that you're better than everybody, and you're not. You're not. You still take a shit that smells like 7 rotten ways from Sunday, just like everybody else. You still have to shake your leg to hold it to go pee when you're trying to get out of a movie theater and go, oh my God, will you stop texting on your phone and get out? I have got to pee. You experience the same shit as the rest of us. Sure, you have more access to things, but that doesn't make you better than me. That just means you have more opportunity for other shit than me. We need to stop glorifying everybody else for this type of bullshit and start calling them out on it. Kiss my ass, Roderick. No. 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 Yeah. Thoughts, feelings, opinions. Throw them down there. If this entertained you in any way, shape, or form, pass it on to somebody. Go listen to this idiot rant about some shit. It's actually kind of on to something, because I think I kind of am. But other than that, enjoy your day. Destroy your own Truman Show broadcast, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya.